Alright everyone, welcome back to yet again another video, and today we are following up the UFA video that we made yesterday, and today we're taking a look at the restricted free agents for 2022. If you're new to the channel and you want to see some more content like this, make sure to leave a like down below and hit the subscribe button. If you want to see our UFA video, we already did that. It got a lot of traction, so I appreciate that greatly. And anyways, I won't waste any more of your time. Let's get into the video. So just like the free agency video, we have 25 skaters and 5 goaltenders, tallying up for a total of 30 different RFA players. We obviously have their stats and their salary as well. So starting off here with the biggest point scorer, Calgary Flames forward Matthew Tkachuk. It's funny how we started off with Johnny Gaudreau yesterday, but Matthew Tkachuk, 42 goals, 62 assists for 104 points. He's a $7 million cap hit. So obviously Tkachuk, very good top 6 forward for the Flames. Have not heard much of him. I've heard more of Gaudreau than I've heard of Tkachuk, so that could be a good thing or a bad thing, whether or not you've heard more. So I'm not sure, but I did hear one rumor that teams may pounce on him. So if the Flames don't get a contract worked out, maybe a team goes out and offer sheets him. Maybe, just maybe. It's possible, but just like with what Kailer Dubois said in the Rasmus Sandin situation, some of these teams are praying that an offer sheet happens, so that way they can just get the signing done and over with. I can name you a couple teams that are probably pretty excited for that to happen. Calgary's one of them, and Dallas is definitely probably another. Jason Robertson here, 41 goals, 38 assists for 79 points, $795K cap hit. Robertson, one of the most underrated young forwards in the NHL. Absolutely an amazing top 6 forward. I have seen rumors of maybe a team goes out and offer sheets him. Honestly would be possible. So definitely their own possibilities there. Next up, Devils forward Jesper Bratt, 26 goals, 47 assists for 73 points with a $2.75 million cap hit. Obviously, Bratt there. He was in trade rumors for a little bit. I've seen some trade rumors, but Fitzgerald then denied that he was even on the trade block. So it looks like Bratt is likely going to stay with the Devils, which is probably a good thing. Next up, Winnipeg's Pierre Luc Dubois, 28 goals, 32 assists for 60 points with a $5 million cap hit. Dubois is probably going to test the market, if we're being honest. He's probably going to do that because I would imagine Dubois is interested in what's going to happen, and he doesn't want to stay with the Jets anymore. So trade's not looking so good for the Jets right now. Next up, Columbus's, ironic transition, Columbus's Patrick Laine, who was a part of that trade, 26 goals, 30 assists for 56 points with a $7.5 million cap hit. So obviously they signed him for 1 year, probably looking to sign him more longer term. That's what I would expect, but maybe not, maybe not. We'll see what they do with Laine. Next up, Calgary's Mangiapane, 35 goals, 20 assists for 55 points with a $2.425 million cap hit. I obviously am a big fan of Mangiapane. A lot of people are. I think he definitely deserves way more money than what he's getting, probably in the realms of $5, maybe $6 million. He has definitely earned it. He's an amazing forward, and he definitely has a ton of potential. Next up, Ottawa's Josh Norris, 35 goals, 20 assists for 55 points. Or 35 goals, sorry, with a $925,000 cap hit. I obviously like Norris there as well. Norris, a very solid forward there for the Senators. Should get some good money. I would expect so. Next up, Islanders' Noah Dobson. 13 goals, 38 assists for 51 points with an $894K cap hit. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Dobson as well. Dobson should definitely earn in the realms of probably $1.5-2 million. I would imagine that's where he gets signed to. But knowing some of these players, they may get offered more. So we'll see what happens there with Dobson. But I like him a lot. A very solid defenseman on the Islanders' aging blue line. Next up, Buffalo's Victor Olofsson. Last I heard with Olofsson, it looks like there is a deal in place. So that is a good thing there. 20 goals, 29 assists for 49 points with a $3.05 million cap, but not a 3.05 goals against average. Olofsson there, obviously a very solid top 6 forward for a struggling Sabres team. I'm going to say right now, they're going to be good in a couple of years. They are going to be very good in a couple of years. And I know people are going to think that's ridiculous, but I think they could honestly be a really good team in a couple of years. If they get the right players in free agency, this team could honestly be a playoff team. They have enough young pieces where they're kind of looking like reminiscence of the Carolina Hurricanes, where the Hurricanes sucked for 10 years. Now the Hurricanes probably going to be good for at least 15 years. So we'll see what happens there. But anyways, that's Olofsson there. Chicago's Dylan Strome, 20 goals, 26 assists for 48 points as a $3 million cap hit. Strome was announced on draft day that they're probably not going to qualify him. So why did I put him in the RFA list? Who knows? They're probably not going to qualify Strome, so he's going to head over to the free agency market where any team can sign him. Strome's difficult with me. He got chances in Chicago's lineup, but just never really put up points, and then he showed reminiscence of being good, reminiscence of being bad. He's kind of been all over the place with Chicago. I would imagine he gets a decent job in the NHL somewhere else. Edmonton's Kailer Yamamoto, 20 goals, 21 assists for 41 points, a $1.175 million cap hit. Notice how a lot of these players are going to be lower cap hits. Like, you look at the UFAs. The UFAs like 8.275, 9.5 million, 5.3, 4.75. You see a lot of high cap hits here. You don't see that so much with the RFAs, mainly because these guys are younger and they're getting their first full-blown contracts out of their entry-level deals. So Yamamoto there, big fan of him. He's been a solid emerged Oilers top 6 forward. Definitely has probably earned at least $3 to $4, maybe $5 million there. I think he'd be in the realm of that. Carolina's Marty Necas, 14 goals, 26 assists for 40 points and an 863 cap hit. The Canes are complicated with me because the Hurricanes do not have a lot of cap space alone. They're probably going to have to let Trocheck walk. They're going to have to let Niederreiter walk. It's not looking so good for the Hurricanes right now. But with Necas, I think they can definitely get him signed up to an offer. But I am going to say this, though. If other teams look at Carolina's situation and say, hey, maybe we take a shot at Necas, Montreal for that matter, I've seen the rumors, maybe they do throw an offer sheet at them and maybe Carolina can't match it. That might just be what happens. So that's Marty Necas for you. Next up, Vegas' Nicholas Waugh. 15 goals, 24 assists for 39 points with a $750K cap hit. I'm a big fan of Waugh. I like Waugh a lot. I remember he was in the Eric Haula trade. Turned out to be a pleasant return for the Vegas Golden Knights there. So I think he definitely has earned some more money there. He's getting paid league minimum, so he definitely deserves more money. Next up, Colorado's Artturi Lehkonen. 19 goals, 19 assists for 38 points with a $2.3 million cap hit. Lehkonen, absolute hero for the Avalanche. Scored two of their best goals in the playoffs, their conference winning goal and their Stanley Cup winning goal. So obviously, the Avalanche probably do want to keep him around. But with Lehkonen, and I've said this with Colorado too, the thing is that they don't have a lot of cap space as it is, and I said that they might have to choose from the Chushka and Kadri, and Lehkonen might not fit into that piece so well, and he's definitely going to want way more than $2.3 million. So we'll see what happens there with Lehkonen. Next up, Montreal's Rem Pitlick. Or it might be Tyler Pitlick. I'm not sure which Pitlick it is. 15 goals, 22 assists for 37 points with a $917 cap hit. Definitely, probably is going to get some money in the, I'd say max of $2 million. Probably with Pitlick. No matter what Pitlick it is. Probably max of $2 million. For being honest. I just think that's the most realistic for him. Next up, Devils' Pavel Zacha. 15 goals, 21 assists for 36 points with a $2.25 million cap hit. I'm a fan of Zacha. I think he's definitely earned some more money. But the thing is with him, and also with the Devils, he has been in trade rumors. So maybe they deal Zacha in some kind of deal to get a better top 6 type player, because they are still looking for one. Getting Vanecek in the draft yesterday. They're trying to improve the goaltending more. Maybe they try and get a top 6 type player, or maybe a top 4 defenseman. Who knows? The Devils kind of need everything right now. And not like much of everything, but they kind of need one more piece to get them over the hump into the playoffs. So that's kind of where I see the Devils and Zacha right now. Next up, Edmonton's Puljujarvi. 14 goals, 22 assists for 36 points with a $1.175 million cap hit. Puljujarvi, the thing is with me is that he's probably going to get traded. He's definitely going to get traded. I figured to get dealt at the draft, but he has not yet. So right now we're just awaiting a Puljujarvi trade, and he wants out as well. And there are teams that have been calling on him, so maybe we'll see who takes a jump on him. They might just not qualify him and let him walk to the market. Next up, Toronto's Pierre Engvall, 15 goals, 20 assists for 35 points with a $1.25 million cap hit. It's looking like they will qualify him. They're likely going to give him probably a $3 million deal if they have the money. Toronto is kind of cap submerged right now, and I mentioned in previous videos of how their goaltending is going to be really screwed up, so not looking so good for the Leafs right now. Anaheim, Sonny Milano, and I mean, they've been on the cap limit for pretty much the past 3 years. Anaheim, Sonny Milano, 14 goals, 20 assists for 34 points with a $1.5, I think that's a $5 million cap hit. Milano has done some good things for the Ducks. I think he should get northwards of probably 3.5 maybe. For Milano there, he's done good with the Ducks. Been kind of a pleasant surprise from struggling with Columbus and then coming to the Ducks and playing pretty well. Next up, Arizona's Lawson Crouse. 20 goals, 14 assists for 34 points with a $1.533 million cap hit. I like Crouse as well. I hope he gets re-signed by the Coyotes. People have had their doubts, but I really like Crouse. I'm a big fan of Crouse. Next up, Pittsburgh's Danton Heinen, 18 goals, 15 assists for 33 points with a $1.1 million cap hit. He did really good. He really took a step up from other teams, so I imagine he probably gets a contract as well. Same with Kapanen, 11 goals, 21 assists for 32 points with a $3.2 million cap hit. But the thing is with Kapanen, people were disappointed with him and how he played this season, so maybe he walks to the market. Just saying. And he was in trade rumors. He was in heavy trade rumors. I remember the people were just putting him in every deal. Next up, Chicago's Dominik Kubalik, 15 goals, 17 assists for 32 points with a $3.7 million cap hit. We'll see what Kubalik gets. Kubalik is interesting for me. I'm not sure how I feel about him. I think he can be a solid player, but just not looking the potential he was going to be. He was a Calder finalist. I'll give him that, but we'll see what Kubalik can do with Chicago as they go ahead into the dark ages. Next up, Alexander Formenton from the Ottawa Senators, 18 goals, 14 assists for 32 points with a $7.47 million cap hit. Formenton should get some good money from the Senators, I would imagine. Would not be that bad of a player to get from an offer sheet. Don't have to offer too much. Maybe Sens won't do it, but who knows. Finally, in the skater realm, Ryan Donato, 16 goals, 15 assists for 31 points with a $750K cap hit. Donato did very well with the Seattle Kraken and really struggled with other teams, so I think he's definitely earned the right to get some more money with the Kraken. Moving on to the goaltenders, we got 5 here, starting off with Jake Oettinger, 30 wins, 15 losses, 2.53 goals against average, and a .914 save percentage with a $9.25 million cap hit. Oettinger, and I talked about how Robertson is also connected to Oettinger, because if two different teams offer sheet Oettinger and Robertson, or even if one offer sheets Robertson or Oettinger, the Stars are really in a crunch. Like, they really are in a crunch. They have more money to work with, especially if they move Klingberg to the market, which is looking like he's going to. So they have money to work with, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to sign both of these players to deals they want. So we'll see what happens there with the Stars. They're in a bit of a bad spot right now. The Washington Capitals, Ilya Samsonov, 23 wins, 12 losses, 3.02 goals against average, and a .896 save percentage with a $2 million cap hit. I'd imagine he gets signed to a deal. Pretty decent deal, especially if the Capitals go out and get Kemper. You'll probably see a Kemper-Samsonov tandem. I wouldn't mind seeing that, so we'll see there. Next up, Devils, Vitek Vanecek. He would be the Capitals' other RFA, but he's with the Devils now. 20 wins, 12 losses, 2.67 goals against average, and a .908 save percentage with a $716K cap hit. So, obviously, Vanecek, I've been a fan of Vanecek. I think he's the better of the two, but we'll see what deal he gets with the Devils. Next up, Colorado's Georgiev. 15 wins, 10 losses, a 2.92 goals against average, and a .898 save percentage with a $2.45 million cap hit. We'll see what Georgiev gets. It's looking like Colorado does want to keep him. They are planning on keeping him, but we'll see what Georgiev gets. And finally, San Jose's Kaapo Kähkönen, 14 wins, 14 losses, a 2.87 goals against average, and a .912 save percentage, and a $725 cap hit. We'll see what the Sharks do. The Sharks goaltending is interesting right now. You got Reimer, you got Hill, and you got Kähkönen now. So we'll honestly see what the Sharks do with their goaltending. It's kind of all over the place if we're being honest, but we shall see. And that does it for the 2022 RFAs. Thank you all very much for watching. Tomorrow, in fact, we will be doing our free agency predictions on the YouTube channel. So if you guys want to stick around for that, turn on the notifications bell, leave that like, hit the subscribe button. I've never said turn on the notifications bell, like ever. But anyways, that'll do it for me. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.